You think there are no cash flowing deals left in 2024? Well, I'm going to find one in less than 10 minutes. Hey, it's Dave, and today I am accepting a deal finding challenge. In under 10 minutes, I'm going to find the best cash flowing deal I can find in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a market that I think has some cash flow potential, and here's how this is going to work. If I can find a cash on cash return 3% or better, I'm going to give myself a little prize, a bronze medal. If I can find something that's 5% return or better, that's a silver medal, and 7% or better, that would be the ultimate, a gold medal for myself. So I'm going to just start the clock right now, and I'm going to pull up the BiggerPockets Deal Finding tool right now and start looking at Pittsburgh. I've only been to Pittsburgh once. I was like 12, so I really don't know that much about it. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just look at prices, because if I'm looking for cash flow, I already know that something that's going to cost really probably more than 300 or 350 is just not going to work. And so I see this scale here, and I know that I want the lighter color. So ideally something that's like in this light area. So I'm seeing over here in Mount Oliver looks pretty good, but there aren't a lot of deals here. So there's only 2 deals on the market. They're cheap. Oh, actually, when you zoom in, this area is starting to look pretty good. I'll probably look over there, but let's just see if there's any other areas like this Crafton neighborhood. This also looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm looking at south of this river or this like northwestern part. All right, so I think these are some good areas. Next thing I'm going to look at is just forecast, because I'm curious to see if these areas are likely to appreciate. This part not looking so good. Okay. Great. So that's what I'm going to do first. Next things I'm going to do is I'm going to look specifically for a house, and I'm going to look for at least 4 bedrooms, because the more bedrooms that you have, the more potential for cash flow. And I'm going to start by saying that I want 2 baths at least, because I think that will give me the best possible opportunity. And then I'll show you a little trick. If you go in this advanced filters here thing on BiggerPockets, if you go to rental yield, this estimates cash flow. I'm going to just put this to 4%. Well, there's a lot of deals still here. So I'm going to put this for 5%. Still a lot of deals. Let's just put this at 6%. Okay. I'm going to start this is already too many. I'm going to keep going. Let's put this thing up to 8%. Okay, so this is why there are deals in Pittsburgh, because there's 8% deals all over the place. Because I can be picky, and because there are a lot of opportunities here, now what I'm going to do is put my max price here at, let's just call it 250, and start looking at these deals. I don't know. My gut feeling was this Mount Oliver. Again, I don't know anything about this. Billy Buck Hill sounds like a cool place, so let's look at it. So I'm going to be eyeballing the 1% rule here. 1% rule basically says that if 1 month of rent is more than 1% of the purchase price, you're probably going to have a good cash flowing deal. So this first example, 7 Roscoe Street, meets the 1% rule, because this $1,600 is more than 1% of 155,000. So this is, let's just look at this deal and get a sense of what kind of shape it's in. All right, this is interesting architecture. Okay, so I'm looking at this property. There's actually some decent upgrades in the kitchen here, but I'm starting to see, I just see some issues with the house, like all this cracking in the plaster. It definitely needs paint. So I think this place is going to need a lot of work. This could work even with putting some money into it, but I'm going to keep looking around. This isn't like my first choice right now. So I'm going to look at a bunch of these other deals and see if there's anything that just stands out to me that's near the 1% rule, but just looks like it is in a bit better condition. This place is standing out to me, 300 Church. This has been on the market for quite some time at 149, so I'm assuming something's wrong with it. But actually, when you look in here, this one is pretty nice. Okay. I like this one. This one's a good one. I'm probably going to run the numbers on this one. Why isn't it selling? Let's just read this. I don't know. Maybe it's overpriced. I don't know the area that well. It does say here, when we look at the value, estimated value here at 170, maybe it's overpriced. Let's see if they've dropped this at all. We don't know. So I'm going to actually just run this deal and see how this one works. So I'm going to just copy and paste this 300 Church Street. Let's put this into the BiggerPockets calculator to save myself time because I only have a few minutes on the clock. I'm not going to put pictures in. Let's just use 175, the asking price. We're going to say that we're going to spend 5,000 closing costs. It does look like it's recently rehabbed, but just not knowing this property, I'm going to assume I need to put like 12 grand into this property and that I can get the value up to, let's just say 185. So I'm actually assuming I'm going to lose money on this upgrade because I want to be conservative on this. I don't want any of you convincing me that I'm cheating here on this. I'm going to say just 2% appreciation, go to loan details, 25%. Mortgage for an investor is probably about 7.5% right now for a 30-year fixed rate term. I'm flying through this. My rental income, I'm just going to use the estimate here from the BiggerPockets tool, which is $1,760. Of course, if I was actually going to buy this, I would validate this, but this is a deal challenge, so I'm going to do this quickly. We need taxes. We've got $1,600 a year, so I'm going to throw that in there. Insurance on a property like this is probably about $1,000 a year. Repairs and maintenance, this is pretty old, so I'm going to just put like 7% in here. Vacancy, I'll put 5%. CapEx, I'm going to put 5%. And because I live out of state for management fees, I'm going to put 8%. Let's see what we got here. You guys think this is going to cash flow? I think it actually might. The taxes were low. Okay, great. So we got one. This was at least a bronze medal. 3.7%. And to be honest, I actually think this might be better. I did pretty conservative estimates here. If you put in, 12 grand, you might be able to increase the cash flow a little bit more, but I like what we're looking at. All right, we got 4 minutes left. I'm going to look at this one. I actually like the looks of this one a lot. So this one here, 345 Walter Street, we have 130 and the rent is 1544. So well above the 1% rule. This looks like a pretty nice block here and that this place is in decent shape. Let's see. Nice hardwood floors. They maybe need to be refinished. Let's just check this out a little bit and see how much we think. Wow, there are a lot of pictures of the hardwood floors. This is slowing me down. Come on, let's go. Okay, this place is nice. This looks rent ready. Let's do this one. Okay, so we're going to put this one in. I'm going to go back over to the BiggerPockets calculator. I'm going to hit view all reports. Come on now. Let's go. All right, so we got Walter Avenue, Pittsburgh. Purchase price was $130 here. Closing costs, again, I'm going to put $5,000. I'm not going to rehab this property because this one looks pretty nice. 25% down at 7.5. Let's go. 30% rental income. What did we have here? It said 1544. 1544. I'm going to put my property taxes in at, what did we have here? 1067. I'm going to do the same assumption for $1,000 a year in insurance. And then repairs and maintenance, I'm going to put this at about 8%. I'm going to do 5% and 5%. And then again, 8% for management fees. I think this one's going to be a little bit better. I think we're going to get like a 5% cash on cash return. Give me a silver medal. Oh my, we got a gold, baby. All right, 9.27% cash on cash return for this property. So instead of going and looking for another one, this is such a good cash on cash return. I am going to just validate all my assumptions and see if this deal is actually as legit as it says it's going to be in my last few minutes. So we got 130 grand. Our algorithm here says that you might actually be overpaying at 130. So if I was actually offering on this deal, I might lower this to 126 is what they're saying. How long has this been sitting on the market? 55 days. So I actually think we might be able to pay let's just say we could pay 125 for this thing because it's been sitting on the market. I like my assumption, even if my rate's a little higher, let's say it's 76.7, but I think we could do better than that. Dude, this is a great deal. Let's just double check the rent estimate here. So I'm actually going to go over here to this analyze deals and go to the rent estimator here. We put one estimate on the deal finder, but if you want to dig in more to any of these things, you can go over to this rent estimator in BiggerPockets. What do we have here? We got a 4.2. 4.2 search address. Okay, so 1650 is actually the middle, and it shows that some of the properties in this area are actually a bit higher. So if you look at some of these estimates, 1750 for a 4.2, 1800 for a 4.2, 1750 for a 4.2. So I actually feel quite good about the estimate that I put in. What did I put in again? 1544. So let's just be really conservative and say that I can only get 1467 here. Even if I did that, I'd still have a gold medal deal here at 8.5%. So I actually think we found ourselves a good one. If anyone is watching this, go look at this deal, 345. Of course, you want to do more due diligence. I don't know enough about this neighborhood, this particular market, but just wanted to show you proof right here. In under 10 minutes, I found a cash flowing 1% rule deal on the market. If I can do it, so can you. Let me know what you think of this deal in the comments below. And also let me know what challenges you'd like me to do in the future. For BiggerPockets, I'm Dave Meyer. Thanks for watching.